Red Faction was a series created by the brilliant minds of Volition that was widely praised for its use of destruction, which allowed players to deform terrain at their own will, with the use of the geomod engine allowing players to destroy parts of walls, floors, and other seemingly destructible objects throughout their gameplay. In the first game, it allowed for unprecedented environmental destruction. The player could blow off walls to traverse or seemingly get out into a fight. However, after the mixed to average reviews the PC port received for Red Faction 2, it appeared to be another generic first-person shooter game built on the success of a great franchise. Until that all changed with Red Faction Guerrilla. After what seemed to be a dormant series in 2009, one of the greatest games to demonstrate the capabilities of an engine was released, featuring an open-world environment for the player to explore, drive wherever they want, and tackle any objective, assuming the role of Attic Mason in the world of Mars. The entire gameplay revolves around destroying certain buildings of the EDF, occupying them and taking control in order to boost the guerrilla morale, masking itself as a third-person shooter.
After Red Faction 2, there's been a lot of silence, so why did you pick up a basically dead franchise?
Well, what we did is, after Red Faction 2, we wanted to take the geomods to a new level. But unfortunately, the technology wasn't there. The systems really couldn't support kind of the ideas and directions we want to go with it. And we kind of wanted to separate it for a while, just take a break.
With the engine upgraded and its groundbreaking technology at the time, this was probably the best entry Volition has ever released for the franchise since the original Red Faction. Every building was subjected to a stress test simulation, where hitting an object hard enough would cause structural changes based on the exact spot that it sustained damage. Chipping away itself or taking down the structure's foundation would cause it to fall apart piece by piece, with occasional sound indicators such as creaks, dust, or glass breaking, simulating realistic physics on how a building would collapse down to dust rather than simply throwing the explosives wherever you want, making the process tedious.
And so with Red Faction Guerrilla, we created a physics-based destruction.
Is a true physics-based and stress-based destruction system.
It has full physics, it can do damage to you, it can do damage to your enemies, and it also has an active stress system. We moved to third person and suddenly you could see your environment. Walls, when they were falling, you could see it start to crumble, you could move away from it.
Because we built the system in such a generic manner, you can do any number of different types of damage. They're going to get applied in the same way.
The programmers got so good at simulating stress on the buildings, it turned into less how are we going to make this thing fall apart, into more how are we going to make this thing stay together. Our stress system kicks in, the weight of the materials are calculated, the thickness of the materials all comes to play, and it just can't support itself.
While maximizing performance and allowing you, the player, to still run your computer or console after all that damage. Riding a vehicle, you can already tell how much weight can be applied when ramming into a structure, as they're most powerful at high speeds. You can't destroy a building in one hit, you need momentum in order to bring it down. Furthermore, walkers are most effective in such cases, with different types of them suited for other needs. The developers heavily emphasize that your weapons aren't the best tools, it's the environment around you, and taking advantage of it can have its benefits. Strategically placing traps that will collapse your enemies instead of rushing without a plan, offering interesting choices for the player to discover on their own. Obviously, your sledgehammer and explosives aren't necessary to make that happen. You can improve your tools by finding salvage around the world, for example, wreckages from collapsed structures or vehicles, mining or crystals, or simply finishing story missions. The game is best when played with friends, but that isn't the case when nearly every game within the franchise is practically dead. You will rarely find a match as long as you organize a game night ahead or invite friends who own the game. But if you are interested, I'll link the Faction Files Discord server below in the description.
You guys sat down and looked to design the multiplayer. What did you want to do with it?
Basically, the main thing we really wanted to do is make sure we emphasize the destruction system. That was our key thing. It wasn't so much about being an open world game or a shooter. Like, all those things are important to us, but we had to be a high quality multiplayer game with destruction. We really wanted to push that. And
to say that Red Faction will come back better than before would be a massive understatement. With the series taking a huge hiatus and Volition's closing, prove that the series is going to be in a dormant state permanently.
Oh my god, Daddy!
What a shame.
He
was a good man. What a rotten way to die.
No, no, no!
I don't think should be working on another game when the series as a whole is perfect. Sure, while there are some titles such as 2 and Armageddon, which weren't well received by the community, they're still great games nevertheless. There's gonna be that one guy in the comments saying, "It's my favorite game! How could I dislike it?" It's just that these games strayed away from its original formula while keeping its identity. 2 was more action-packed, Armageddon became another linear third-person shooter while keeping the geomod engine intact, evidently leading to poor sales, affecting THQ in the process. It's at that fine line of we don't know what type of audience we would like to appeal to. There are other games that simulate destruction or give that feeling, such as Teardown, Battlefield, Mercenaries 2, Just Cause, and so on. I highly recommend if you're looking for something new to try once in a while. Destruction Guerrilla can be summed up as a satisfying experience to watch. Seeing buildings come down like you're watching the end of Fight Club, knowing that the amount of chaos you've caused throughout the game is probably the biggest achievement anyone could have. Despite its repetitiveness, I'm feeling a light 10. So with that out of the way, I'd like to thank you for sticking with me this far. This has been another video I've been dying to make for a while. It's getting harder to make videos because I keep procrastinating, rewriting scripts, editing different videos. It's very noisy here in my neighborhood, and audio quality is gonna sound very different in some cases. Literally the definition of insanity. Anyway, subscribe, like the video, join my Discord server, and thanks for watching. Tata, bye bye.